Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give, and today I'm bringing a message to you which is happening in my life all the time, and I want to talk into the fact that I am always failing and always inviting more failure into my life. And I know that sounds sick. It's kind of like why I'm always talking into the fact that I absolutely love challenge. But it's kind of taking it to a next level, and I want, by the end of today's message, for all of you guys out there who are feeling like, you know, you are failing at something in your life, maybe you're currently in the midst of a failure, or maybe you're not quite ready to admit that you feel like you're failing, but you deep down you really are, or you think you are. And maybe it's something that you are still regretting in your past. Maybe you've had failure and you're still kind of feeling like your best days are behind you and definitely not in front of you. And I really want to talk to you guys about how we can get beyond that. And ultimately, I want to give you guys the kind of mindset that absolutely wins and can never lose because of its concept around failure. And I think we've all kind of heard, like, as long as you learn from, you get the result from the thing that you think you fail at, and you take that lesson, you can utilize that to grow and evolve, and it's never quite a failure. So long as you learn, you're not going to fail. And that I want to definitely reiterate, but also I kind of want to share some of the different failures in my life, and I'm just going to riff with it, and I'm just going to talk into this with you guys in the hope that it helps you. But ultimately, I feel like my life is almost like a series of failures. And when I say failure, what I really mean is me thinking this is what I want, and this is the successful result I expect to achieve. And then me being kind of woken up to the fact that, oh, it's not going to happen that way. It's going to happen this totally different way. And then it's a navigation for me to go, instead of feeling defeated and like I failed, to actually find how everything's happening exactly how it should. And it couldn't be any better. And for me to, as my past self, perceive that something has to happen in a particular way in my future in order for me to feel successful, I can't know that as my past self. And it takes the growth, it takes the experience to be able to get to that place and that point in time to then realize, oh, I thought it was going to play out this way, and I thought that's what success would look like. But at the end of the day, it wasn't going to look like that, and I couldn't have known otherwise as my past self without the experience and the results that I'm generating and all the lessons that I'm learning along the way. So I have had a ton of different failures in my life, but what I want to talk to you guys about today and in this moment is, as always, something that's like going on in my life. And today I have, yesterday I arrived here in beautiful Chania, in Crete, the largest island in Greece, and it is super beautiful. I spent all yesterday since I arrived taking a billion photos and checking it out, and watching the sunset and walking to a lighthouse and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, which was really beautiful, and I was really taking it all in. And then I found myself today really not, I was so immersed in what I was doing in my own internal work, in my meditation, in my journaling, in my training program, doing all this stuff and dreaming big and getting back into a bigger picture and a vision, and kind of readdressing that from where I'm at. It reminded me of being traveling when I did a similar long trip around Europe 3 years ago. It actually reminded me, because I was battling this fear of what's the time now? I'm still immersed in this stuff, but I actually haven't gone out and gone exploring, and I'm in this beautiful place. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it reminded me of how, back those 3 years ago when I was traveling for 10 months around Europe, I definitely had different points of time when I just wasn't I wasn't enjoying all the sightseeing. I wasn't enjoying the different locations and areas around the world I was at. And ultimately that was because I wasn't actually living in my highest values. And I was kind of reminded of that same scenario. So I traveled around, for 10 months, and ultimately my mindset at the time was like, this is going to be an amazing adventure, living the laptop lifestyle. My business and my mission is going to grow exponentially. I get to do that with my intimate partner at the time, and we were working together, and it was just like, wow, like this is a dream come true. But in actual fact, like, it was a massive struggle. And in fact, finances went down. My business really suffered because you're traveling and you're chopping and you're changing, and I couldn't focus and I couldn't grow things in the way that I wanted to. Oh my gosh, you want to like really take your relationship to a next level? Go traveling where you're in each other's pockets 24/7, trying to work out a new language, trying to scrape it together financially, trying to build a business, trying to, navigate where the hell we're going to be next week and how we're going to get there and what we're going to do. All of that in, one pot. Like, you're going to find a lot of challenge there. We definitely grew a lot during that period of time, but it was not easy, and we definitely did it the hard way. And so my perception at the beginning of that journey would have been, what a failure. Like, look at the fights that we had as a couple. Look at how we couldn't even, what we had to do for dinner. I remember when we were in Nice at some stage, like, we only had like a few dollars, and we literally ate a baguette with like some butter for dinner, and that's like all we could afford, and we didn't know where we were going to stay next week. And, our business wasn't exactly where we wanted it to be, and we didn't feel like it was growing, and we weren't able to focus, and we were in survival mode, and we couldn't get inspired, and all this sort of stuff was going on. And so at the time, it felt like, whoa, like this is a failure. And on top of that, what I was reminded of today was, can't even enjoy where I am in this beautiful part of the world because I'm not living in my values, and I'm not living at my highest potential, and I'm feeling like a failure, right? And so now that I can reflect back on that and, see how far I've come and see all those challenges that came up, it was exactly how it was meant to happen. Like, it couldn't have happened any other way. Like, if I was to get exactly what I wanted at that point in my life, like, I don't know that I would have had the same perspective, drive, clarity of vision, all those different pieces of the puzzle in all areas of my life, from my health, how I was going to look after it, my relationships, like how I wanted them to be navigating, and definitely my business, my mission, all those different pieces of the puzzle. Like, it had to happen that way in order for it to happen the way it's going to really happen moving forward. Like, if something didn't work out the way that you think it should have, it doesn't mean that it's a failure. What's coming is how it's supposed to happen. And we need to kind of remind ourselves of that and stop thinking that our past selves had it all worked out and we knew exactly how it's supposed to pan out in order to be labeled success. So many different experiences in my life in terms of, challenges and breakthroughs, and, supposed failures that were supposed to work out this way. And they're continuing to do that throughout my journey. And yeah, here in Crete, I was just kind of reminded today, I'm like, yes, I'm in this beautiful part of the world. And like, today, yesterday, I made the most of all my exploring because the weather was beautiful. And today it's like kind of a bit colder, but it's been a really nice day. But I'm like, fighting the urge to like go out and, go and explore, or actually take the time that I did today. I had like full immersion today. Like, I went from tapping into higher perspective through my meditation to journaling about like way bigger picture in my mission and what I'm inspired by, and taking it down to small goals that are going to help me accomplish the larger goals, and chunking that down to, what are the affirmations that are going to really see me through? Who is my higher self, and what do I need to remind myself of? different quality questions that were going to guide me each day to make sure that I'm tapping into the highest version of myself and contributing at higher levels. Also, tapping into the programs and the systems that I want to be creating moving forward, and what I want to be studying, and picking from different places, and what skill sets I need to tap more into, all the way down to what makes a successful day in my life, for me personally. And also starting new training programs that I did today, and all sorts of stuff. So, today has been a highly productive day, even though I spent majority of it here in this beautiful room that I've got here, this apartment in Crete, in Chania. And it's been way more fulfilling than actually adventuring out there into the streets and all the beauty that I've got around me, because I've got plenty more time for that. And what actually makes us appreciate and really gain the fulfillment from anything else inside our lives is when we're living in alignment with our highest values. And that for me is focusing on my growth and my contribution. If I'm not feeling like I'm growing and contributing, it doesn't matter where I am in the world, who I'm with. It doesn't matter what amazing experience I could be having. There's that part of me that's feeling unfulfilled, and it's feeling kind of shallow, and it's feeling like this is just surface. So I'm hoping that me sharing all of this with you guys will get you thinking about, number one, your supposed failures, and reminding yourself if it doesn't happen the way you think it's supposed to happen, guaranteed how it's supposed to be happening is coming to you. So just stay on that track, stay on that pathway, and stop thinking that your past self had it all figured out in terms of defining success, and stay open to new possibilities, kind of the new opportunities that come up as a result of you moving forward in any direction that you think is going to work, and figuring it out along the way. And definitely, those different experiences are going to help you to step into the person that you need to become in order to live to a higher level of your potential. And then secondly, make sure that you're not just living in distraction. You're not just trying to find that external experience or thing or person that is actually going to bring fulfillment into you. It doesn't work that way. You're only going to feel fulfilled if you're generating that from within. And from my experience, it's always going to come down to two things. How much do you feel like you're growing as an individual? You're progressing in some way? And secondly, how much of a meaningful difference in the world do you think you're making? How much of an impact does your life have on the people closest to you, and however big that expands out from you? But as long as you feel like you're growing and you're contributing in some way, you're going to have fulfillment. And with that fulfillment, you can actually enjoy all those external experiences. And I've had that experience way too many times to try and change the external in order to gain fulfillment inside, but it's only fleeting. It's never going to last a lifetime, and it's only going to last momentarily until that distraction is gone, and then you're like, oh, I don't feel fulfilled. Oh, how else can I distract myself? Well, a better question would be, how can I generate fulfillment from within so that I get to fully experience everything out here? And that's always going to be, how do I grow myself and how do I contribute more? So hoping that this is of value to you guys. I want to check in. So if you're joining me live, say hi. If you're watching the recording, say hi, drop me a comment, and I'll get back to you guys. But let me see. I have got beautiful Alexandria, my spirit sister, in the house, and Antonio, and Alexandra. Hi Vanessa, sending our love to you across the miles. #courage. I love it. Thanks for being here, beautiful Alexandria, and the amazing Charles. And San's here. San King is here. San, you are a beautiful masterpiece. The experiences of your life are leading you to this sacred truth. Trust the process and breathe. Absolutely. Beautiful words of wisdom. I so appreciate you being here and sharing those, Sam. And Muratesh is here, and Okan, and Alexandra. So much gratitude for our growth and wisdom gleaned from the challenges. Absolutely. I love the challenge, and you know, like most of us are trying to gain certainty and comfort, and at the end of the day, we do need that degree of certainty. We do need a degree of comfort in our lives, that kind of safe home base, you know, in order to get out there and achieve more and grow more and experience more and take more risks. But at the end of the day, if we go too far in that direction and we want to divert away from challenge, then we might be safe and comfortable, but we're definitely not fulfilled, because we know we're not growing. You know, we're not progressing. With challenge comes growth, as you guys know. So we've got to look at it that way as well. And I love that. And Tina's here as well. And Alexandra, Thanksgiving Day here. And we are very thankful for you and every kind action and creative space you've offered to the world, and grateful for the Limitless Potential community. Oh, so much love. And happy Thanksgiving Day to you, all of you Americans out there, you superstars. I love that. I love that you guys have a day dedicated to gratitude and bringing the family together. It's so, so beautiful. I got to experience it a year ago today. So that was a whole year ago that I was in America celebrating Thanksgiving. So that's awesome. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I so appreciate your beautiful, kind words there, my amazing Alexandria friend. And yes, I love that. And you are such a beautiful, big part of our amazing community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Mia's here as well, and Maria, awesome to see you. So hoping that today's message has served you, has resonated. I am definitely going to go out and explore a bit more now that I'm feeling fulfilled and now that I've done the work, you know, and I'm hoping that it'll just get you to readjust for whatever you think you're failing at in life right now. You know, stop trying to distract yourself, stop trying to make yourself feel, you know, comfortable right now, and actually look at it and go, okay, how else could this actually be working out? What if this is exactly how it's supposed to be working out? What is the lesson here? You know, how is this actually serving me? How is it of benefit to me and to others that it's actually panned out exactly as it has? And when you can get that kind of clarity, and then you can kind of go, you know, addressing your fears and actually identifying, like, what is the pathway forward here? You know, quick little side note, this is probably like a whole nother topic that I could go into. But one of the things that I've been doing a lot of recently is tapping into my deepest fears. And when I say my deepest fears, what I'm really meaning is, like, what am I absolutely terrified of? Like, what would bring up true terror within me? And if you can go to that level, that depth in your fears, because you got them, right? If you can go that deep and really tap into what absolutely terrifies you, from that place, you can actually discover and get more clarity over the pathway forward. Plus, it's like a double-edged sword. Like, you not only get clarity over what you value based on what you know you're most terrified of, because it shines light. Every fear, every terror is attached to something that you highly value. That's why you're so terrified of this particular result, because it means that it'll cut away the meaning and the value in your life, right? So they're interconnected. And then secondly, when you really address your terrors, a great thing happens. Like we've all heard, when you face your fears, they dissipate, right? Well, when you get that, shine that light on what you're most terrified of, it not only paints the picture for your pathway of growth and focus and vision and clarity over what's most meaningful to you, but it also helps you to level up, like, so you can see what your fears as they are, and they're no longer this huge, big, dark, scary thing that's limiting you and making you like try and distract yourself with anything external. And in fact, you've cleared the path and you've got the clarity. It's like taking away the mist that you've been surrounded by when you address what terrifies you. And that is something that I've been massively working on recently, like so much. So hope that little side note helps you. And Ram's here as well, and Peter and Maria. Finally, I catch you live, Vanessa. Love listening to you and getting reminders of what I should be doing. I'm so grateful to see you live, Maria. I know you're checking out my stuff, and I so appreciate you. And it's an absolute pleasure, yes, to catch you live. I know it's a random time for my Facebook Lives, but I am so grateful that you're here, and every one of you guys. As always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and I hope today's message has served you. And if you know anybody in your life who could get some value from today's message, if they feel like they're failing, if they're stuck in a rut, if they are distracting themselves and you're seeing that they've got so much potential and maybe they just need a little bit of a wake-up call in an indirect way, then I would be forever grateful if you share this message with them, or any of my posts or any of my work. I really am always, that's the greatest gift that you could give me ultimately, is to share anything that I do if you find it of value and you feel it could serve anybody else. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I can't wait to hear any of your questions, your comments, all of it. Definitely drop me a comment below, and I can't wait to see you in the next live. Much love.